Hey guys, welcome to Van Life with Gina. Jacob's turn at the box. I said Jacob and I woke him up. Sorry, dude. Go back to sleep. Good morning, everybody. It's early in the morning. That's why I ended my live last night kind of early. I had to get up early. I have a doctor's appointment. All is good, though. I'm just getting a checkup on my pacemaker. I run a few tests on it every few months. I was going to go with Ready Ride. It's a service here that picks you up, takes you to your doctor's appointments, but they messed up their timing. So I'm borrowing a friend's car because there's no place to park my van there. So I'll be borrowing a friend's car, going into town that way. And that way there's a place for me to park and get my appointment done. So I'll take you guys along for the ride. I got to get off here right now, get my shower, get ready to go. So let's do this. Well, all went good. They said I have the Cadillac of pacemakers and that it's doing a great job. And that I didn't realize that they pace my heart with it. I thought it was just a defibrillator. But my heart does beat on its own. And she said I got A's straight across the board. So good news. All right, once I got back home, they told me to unplug my monitor for a few seconds and plug it back in. This is my pacemaker monitor. There we go. And now we'll plug her back in. And turn it around and make sure it hooks up to me here. There it goes. I keep this right up in the front window here because it runs off cell phone towers. Sometimes the signal in my van, it don't get out that well, or it don't get in that well, so I keep it up here. Now, if I'm off grid or something, I plug this in. They like it to be running at night when you're sleeping, mostly. I keep it as plugged in as much as possible, but it can be off. They said they like it to have it plugged in and do its readings for at least every 2 weeks. So if I was off grid for 2 weeks, I'd be okay. Just need to plug it in for a nighttime at some point. But I've used it when I was traveling and no problems with it. I'll plug it into my Blue Eddy. It pulls hardly any power at all. I mean, it pulls nothing. But anyway, I keep it up here and the cats like to lay by it. Don't you? You slipped, didn't you? But anyway, that's the monitor that goes with my pacemaker. And I weigh every morning, and I have a scale that tells the weight to the monitor. And I take my blood pressure, and it'll also tell it my blood pressure when I do that. Hey, everybody. So, yeah, it's later in the evening. I still got some chores to do, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this. Most of you do know that's been following me a while. I have a pacemaker. You know, when I first got my pacemaker, a month later, I moved into my van, and I really thought it was going to be hard to deal with, hard to take care of. It's not. You know, like I said, I try to keep a signal to my monitor as much as possible, but it don't have to be on every day 24/7. And sometimes out where I park at out here in the country, the cell phone signal is not strong out here. Like even my cell phone has trouble, whose calls a lot. But this monitor does run on any tower, any cell phone tower, And sometimes I'll have to take it outside and plug it in over at the cabin. Like I'll sit on the porch and plug it in to make sure it's sending. And I have had trouble before it not sending because it's not getting a signal. I don't know if it was due to weather or what, but the next day the signal sent. I keep an eye on that. And then 3 times a year they do remote signal checks from the office. They'll test out the monitor and my pacemaker. And I have a schedule of what days they do that. And I always make sure I'm plugged in on those days. It's 3 times a year, and I have a list taped up front in the van of the times that it is. And so I'll make sure and that I'm in a cell phone signal area at that time so they can get the signals. And, you know, and like they've let me know, like, it's not something they have to let, like, okay, so say my heart has went into AFib before. It has several times. That's why they put me on blood thinners. But that will record that, and they will let the office know. And then they'll send me a letter or call me and let me know that it did send the signal good and make sure I'm feeling fine. But I've never really noticed when my heart has went into AFib. I've never felt it. And my pacemaker, for me, they said it's like the Cadillac of pacemakers, but the reason they gave me this specific pacemaker, it was kind of a test. People with what I have, congestive heart failure, they usually don't give them to them, but I was able to get my heart, my heart failure numbers better, and they gave me the pacemaker. It helps the beat. I don't know if I'm explaining this right. It helps the heart rate, the beat, by optimizing the squish of the heart, you know, where it squishes the blood out. It optimizes that. My heart is weak is why I have it. And so if I have a heart attack, it'll kick me because it is a defibrillator. The purpose of hooking up the heart, the pump of it, the beat of it, I guess is what you call it. It helps my heart optimize the blood push out because the left side of my heart does not work that well. But that is why I have that monitor and the pacemaker I have, and they're really big on getting the data from this. That's why they told me to, you know, at least have it plugged in every 2 weeks, because mine is kind of like a test. I'm one of they tell me how many, I forget, but I'm one of however many people that have this specific pacemaker, and they see if it helps the person's life, you know, helps them live longer. And so yeah, I'm kind of a guinea pig, but that's okay. It saved my life, you know. Well, it hasn't saved my life, but I haven't had a heart attack. But if I did, it would kick. So yeah, I definitely am glad to be doing this with them, this research with them. Anyway, but that's what it's like. I mean, that's you know, living in a van, you would think that, I really did think it would be harder to take care of myself living in a van before I moved in, but I find it much easier. Life is a lot more simple living in the van for me. Then when I lived in sticks and bricks, I had a lot more bills. I had a lot more stress. You know, I stress about a few things now, but nothing that really weighs me down in any way. So less stress is good for the heart. So yeah, living van life is what helped save me, I think. So yeah, I definitely love living in the van. I would love to travel more, but at this time it's just not doable. Number one reason right now probably would be gas, but really I stay in this area because of my daughter and my grandbabies, and so I can help out when I need to with them. But hopefully someday I'll be traveling more. I would like to get back to the Midwest and see some old friends back in Oklahoma. Definitely would like to get back that way at some point. But you know what? I'm happy here, and I get to go do things here. I just don't go much. The gas prices right now would definitely be the number one stopper, because I get 9 miles to the gallon in this big old rig. You know, I live on a budget. I live on disability, so I can't. And when I travel, I'll have to travel slow. So Go somewhere, stay for a week or two, go somewhere, stay for a week or two. And that's how I'll have to do it, but I don't mind that. And I have went up and down the coast. I'm thinking about doing that trip here pretty soon. Maybe after the Oregon, the O22 meetup, I'm thinking about taking a trip over to the coast. I'm not sure yet. Just try to time it around the doctor's appointments and around babysitting. So yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. I don't have much more for you today. I'm always glad to see you guys. And Wednesday night, I think I may have Mark the Paint Guy on the show. As long as he's in Wi-Fi, I'll be putting a thumbnail up for it. He's a super nice guy. And I met him through Matthew. I was telling you guys that. So anyway, all right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace out.